Hi guys, this is a video on bank reconciliations. Bank reconciliations is obviously a section you've done last year and you should be quite familiar with it. I have given you some tasks to do for homework just to revise on the concepts of bank reconciliation. So you will complete task 11.18 and 11.19 by yourself. I will then give you solutions for you to mark. Task 11.20 is a theoretical task and I have pasted the solution up for you to read in the Dropbox. This is now task 11.21, which is a simple bank reconciliation, just to familiarize yourself again with the concepts and calculations from last year. Okay, so these two tasks are basically pure division from last year, and then we're going to go into more analysis type questions, which will be the focus of your studies for this year, and obviously will be tests during exams, etc. Okay. So this is for Wishart Stores Bank Refund. Okay, we have to prepare an updated bank account in the general ledger. We have to prepare the bank recon and answer a question. Okay, so in the information we've been given a bank account, and this bank account was compiled before the bank statement was received. So all we're going to do is put the same figure, copy it into our bank account, and then we're going to obviously adjust these figures for what we need, okay, for after the adjustment. Okay, so remember that the format of the bank account is always the same. The only difference is the balance brought down can either be on the debit side like it is here, or if it's a favorable balance, or else it can be on the credit side if it's an unfavorable balance. Okay, so this was on March the 1st. Remember, bank reconciliations are prepared every month. So when you're doing a ledger account, whatever, it's always just for 1 month. Okay, so our balance brought down on the first day of the month, and then everything else happens at the end of the month, so on the 31st of March. Okay, remember that our CRJ total, okay, goes to the debit side. In your question, they're calling it summary account, but we call it total receipts. Okay, it doesn't matter. You get marked correctly for either in exams. Okay, so but we are familiar with using total receipts and total payments instead of summary accounts. So that's what I prefer you to use. Okay, so we have total receipts on the debit side and total payments on the credit side. Okay, then what we're going to do is, because we're updating this ledger account, we're just going to bring in the figures, but we won't put them in. The balance brought down, there aren't any adjustments for it, so I'm going to bring that into the column. Okay, but the total receipts and total payments on the CRJ, what we'll do is we'll open up a bracket and put the amounts in there, and then just adjust as we need to. Okay, so these are from the question. So this is 89226 for the CRJ and 88436 for the CPJ. Okay, I'm not going to bring in the balance carry down and the balance brought down or the total, because we're going to see what the adjustments are for our question. Okay, then the next bullet tells us that the March bank statement revealed the following: bank charges of 315. Bank charges are payments. We're going to add it on to the CPJ total. So we're going to add on 315. An unpaid check, which is RT checks, we're also going to add it on to the CPJ total. So 4129. Debit orders of 992, which we're also going to add on here. Okay. Electronic payments made by customers. Okay, so those are EFTs into the business. So therefore, be part of our CRJ figures. So we're going to add it on there, 8670. Okay, and then the last thing is being given there is the favorable balance on the bank statement at month end, 15,431. So that, if you remember, is a starting point of the bank recon. So we're going to go to the bank recon. Now remember, if it's favorable, it means it's a debit balance in our books. But for the bank, it would mean it's a credit balance. So we're going to start off here. We're going to say credit balance per bank statement. Okay, we're going to put that figure in the credit column, 15,431. Then remember this year from last year. Outstanding deposits are always credited on the bank refund. Okay, and outstanding checks are debited on the bank refund. Okay, so if we look at the last bullet in the question, the following do not appear on the bank statement. So if you remember from last year, remember these things here like bank charges, unpaid checks, EFTs, etc. did not appear in the CRJ and the CPJ, which is why we have now placed them in the CRJ and the CPJ. And whatever does not appear on the bank statement will go into the bank recon. So these items do not appear on the bank statement. The deposit of 4454, so we credit outstanding deposits, and checks not appearing on the bank statement 3514. So last year when we did these questions, we used to list all the checks and all of that. This is just a simple exercise to get you to remember it again, so there isn't all of that to be done. Okay, now that we're done with everything, all that's left is to work out the answers. Okay, so we're going to work out the new CRJ balance and the new CPJ balance, and obviously put the answers in the money column. Okay, now in the bank account, what we'll do is just balance it. So we're going to look at which side looks bigger. The debit side looks bigger to me. So I'm going to put that answer in on both sides. The total, I mean. Okay, so 110,243 on both sides. Okay, and then just balance out. Okay, remember when you're balancing, you must say balance carry down and balance flow down. In exams, if you get any ledger account to do, if it's a balance sheet account, you will need to do all of this, right? The balance will be brought down on the first day of the next month. Okay, so 16,371. Okay, let's finish off our bank refund as well. Now the balance is brought down on the debit side of this bank ledger account. So we'll go to our bank refund and we'll say debit balance. Okay, remember we started off with the balance per bank statement, but now we end up with the balance per bank account. And it's 16,371 in the debit column. Okay. Okay, now all we need to do is total up these columns and hope that they work out to the same so that we know that the bank refund has balanced. Okay, so the bank refund has balanced, and that's it for the bank refund. Here's a question here. Okay, one of the most common reasons for a check being unpaid is insufficient funds in the drawer's account. Name at least 3 other reasons why a check could be dishonored. So other reasons would be either errors on the check, alterations on the check, so if they made any mistakes or irregular signature, drawer is insolvent, if the check is torn or damaged, or even a stale check. One more, which I need to just list here as well, okay, is if the check is post dated. Okay, so if you take a check into the bank, if a check is taken to the bank and then it's post dated, it will be returned by the bank. Okay, so a post dated check. Okay, so that's all there is for this question. I'll also do task 11.22 with you, which is pure revision after this video.